Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm from Dan O'Brien's Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Methuen. Let's talk about the powertrain of the 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee Summit. Let's take a look under the hood. So here we have the 3.6 liter V6, has 390 foot-pounds of torque and 360 horsepower. Not only do you have more than enough power in the V6 engine, but you also have the combined fuel efficiency of 21 miles per gallon. That means 18 miles per gallon in the city and 25 miles per gallon on the highway. All of that coupled with an 8-speed automatic transmission and a 4x4 system that has been proven over many years. For example, I've lived in New England my whole life and I have a steep driveway. Sometimes I can't get up my driveway in the car that I drive now. Jeep Grand Cherokee Summit, more than capable of handling a steep driveway in the snowy terrain. Let me show you. Okay, so here in the Summit, we have the Select terrain system. What this means is that we can handle all the kinds of terrains in the continental US. It's more of a Jeep thing than anything. So with that being said, you can have your auto mode, which is for the road, the sand mode, which is for being at the sand dunes, the beach, stuff like that, the snow mode for when you're in that driveway that you have on your hill, and it's all icy and everything like that. You also have your mud mode, so if you're ever stuck in the mud, a swamp, it's a rainy day, you're stuck in the mud, it'll just automatically hit the 4x4 system into that mode to get you out of the mud as quick as possible. On top of this, you also have the rock mode, enabling you to have the most ground clearance as possible using the Quadralift air suspension system. You can control it manually right from here. Also on top of that, it'll automatically give you the most clearance for whatever mode you're in. So you don't have to actually do it manually, it'll automatically give you the most clearance for the terrain that you're on. With that being said, you can also use the air suspension system with the key fob. I personally love this vehicle. You have a great visibility. The windshield is actually super massive and you get the ride height of a truck, meaning that you get the full visibility 360 degrees. In addition, it's a very safe vehicle. Everything's at your fingertips, so you even have your paddle shifters right here on the steering wheel. You can also adjust the volume and the channels right from the back of the steering wheel. Everything's right at the touch of your fingers. Also, it's a very smooth ride. I can't even feel it. It feels like I'm floating. So in addition to having everything at the touch of your fingers, you can also have voice command through the steering wheel. So if I press a button on the steering wheel on the lower left-hand side, I will be able to enable voice command, which will give me a list of commands to give the vehicle. And if let's say I were to call my mom or something like that, or my girlfriend, I would just hold this button down and then it would bring up like the list of commands and then after that I'd be like, call mom. And then the vehicle would call my mom through the speakers of the car and I would never have to even take my eyes off the road. On top of that, it also has the adaptive cruise control. So what that means is that when you are on the highway and you have it set to 60 miles an hour or whatever you want to set to, it'll stay there like regular cruise control. But if there's a car in front of you, you can actually set the speed or you can set the distance you want to be away from that vehicle. So it'll actually match the speed of the vehicle in front of you. So it's super safe. It also has a stop feature. So if you're in traffic, you won't even have to touch the brake or anything like that, and it'll stop itself and then resume to what speed that you were at. And all of that is right here at the touch of your fingers. I want to talk about the seating and the capabilities for families. So for example, we actually have the 60/40 fold down split, the seating in the back of me, the second row. With that, you can actually seat up to 3 people in the back, and then if you want to have long objects in the trunk, you have all that extra trunk space if you put one side of it down, and you can have 2 passengers. So it's really versatile in terms of being able to access the amount of space and have your family sit in the back. On top of the amount of trunk space that you have in this vehicle, what you also have is a power liftgate. So what that means is that all it is just one click of a button in the trunk. That way if your hands are full, you have a small child that you're carrying, you have other groceries or something like that, all it is one click of a button and the liftgate will actually come all the way up for you. And if you still have your hands full or anything like that, you're putting a kid in the back seat, there's actually just a small button on the back of the trunk where you can press it and then the liftgate will come down. So it's very convenient for all sorts of uses. The really one thing I love about this vehicle is the fact that it's very versatile in terms of how it can handle the road and being off-road, because yes, it is still a Jeep, so it handles like an SUV, but it still has the off-road capabilities of a Wrangler. So what that means is that you can take it in the snow, in the dirt, in the mud, and it won't underperform. So we're in the Methuen Forest Lake Park, very rural area. So you know, it's not the best of roads, but yet it still handles very well because it handles like an SUV, yet it drives like a Wrangler. It has all the off-road capabilities, takes bumps very well. It's a very smooth vehicle, and yeah, it's a perfect vehicle for the New England area. If you want a closer look at the 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee Summit, come down to Dan O'Brien's Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Methuen, ask for Ryan. I'd love to take you on a test drive and get you the best deal possible.